Here we have the Nigerian Army has retreated its willingness to accept repentant bandits who are ready to turn over a new leaf. Brigadier General Babatunde Omopariola, commander of the 17th Brigade in Katsina, called on bandits and extremists to surrender, promising consequences for those who continue criminal activities. The statement was made during a ceremony where 9 kidnapping victims, including 2 infants, were handed over to Katsina State government officials. The army, employing a non-kinetic approach, successfully rescues the victims from various locations across Katsina and Kaduna states. Senior Special Assistant of the Katsina Governor on Victims of Banditry, Saudi Danja, commended the collaboration between security forces, highlighting recent rescues of 11 victims in Batsari local government and 19 victims the following day. One of the rescued victims, Inusa Salusi, shared his ordeal of 90 days in captivity, describing inhumane conditions and the loss of his 20-year-old son during his detention. This is actually a call for it's a call for awakening, and it's actually a really sad one. And then what do you have to say about this, Mr. Joshua?
Okay, regarding the Nigerian Army, before I said anything regarding about them, I want to use the medium to, console them about the loss of the immediate past Chief of Army Staff, General Lagbaja, who died this month. The success that has been attributed to, Nigeria Armed Force or Army today is as a result of the effort the immediate past Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Staff, General Lagbaja has put in. So I really want to appeal to the acting Chief of Staff of the Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. He has to collaborate intensely with other states, because you can agree with me that recently the issue of insurgency and insecurity, not just in the north, in the country, even if we've not conquered it completely, has drastically reduced, because we are no longer hearing of bomb blasts and all that. So, and it is as a result of the effort put in place by the immediate past Chief of Armed Staff, General Lagbaja. Then, talking about the bandit repenting, before bandits, what resulted to banditry? These people that we are calling bandits today, are they not Nigerians? They are Nigerians. So in Nigeria, we fight problem when it has occurred, rather than looking for a way to prevent that problem from occurring. And the best way anything can be handled is avoiding it from happening. Because these people we are calling that they should repent today are Nigerians. And most of them are young people with vision. The question is, what led them to the banditry before we call them to repent? So I will appeal to the government, let's pay attention to the youths so that, they can stay off this ill act called banditry before calling them to repent. Because we can avoid them from, involving themselves in this act.
Okay, thank you very much for your analysis on that. But let's also look at the part where we call back terrorists to repent, like you have stated. We call back terrorists. Let's go back to the amnesty. We've heard of all of that. Now, back to our previous story. When we saw the children in court, some Nigerians started saying, so we call back bandits and all of these people, we ask them to repent and embrace peace, and all of that. We'll accept you back. All you have to do is drop your weapons and things like that. But then we have these children who have been in custody all this while, and we want to persecute them after investigation. So do you think the part where we ask terrorists to embrace, where we say we are open to receive these terrorists back and integrated back into the society. Is that something that you think is beneficial, especially to our security? Because some people would feel, oh, no matter what I do, even if I get into all of this, at the end of the day, what will happen? The government will call us back to embrace peace and drop our weapons, and nobody is persecuted for anything.
That's the problem. You know, when you talked about amnesty, when this issue of amnesty was on, I, as a person, I wasn't really happy or in support of it. Because you see people that has caused a lot of harm in the country. At the end of the whole thing, you call them, empower them. Meanwhile, we have valued Nigeria that have contributed endlessly to the growth of their society, seeking for opportunity to strive, and they are not gotten. Then people that has caused harm will be paid more attention to than those that have not caused any harm. So it means literally we are encouraging people go into this process. If you're in, you can actually do your own stuff, destroy the country the way you could. At the end of the day, government will embrace you if you can return your arm.
So you don't think they're calling them to come to reduce the crime rate?
No, I don't think that is the best approach.
What do you think is the best approach?
The best thing they should do, because let's look at, go in. Let me use the word cultism first before banditry. One common problem we have among youth in our society today is cultism. And do you know why youth still want to go into that process? It's because they have their models. Government are making use of people that have terrorized our state and our country. A situation where you see a non-criminal being recognized by the government. He has security. He's a face. And this is a non-criminal. What kind of inspiration are you giving to young people? It means if I can be a criminal today, tomorrow the government will embrace me and empower me. Yes. So which one should we now?
But let's look at the impact. Should I call it impact now or effect of the amnesty program that was introduced in Niger Delta? There was a point where we had so much cases of kidnap in this part of the country, and especially white people were being kidnapped, down to we started kidnapping ourselves. Not we, they started kidnapping Nigerians. But the rate was really high. Now, when the government introduced amnesty, we saw the changes. We saw a lot of people dropping their weapons. We saw
the kidnapping rates also reduced.
And then they were giving scholarships in different universities in Nigeria and outside the country. Even though at some point they started complaining that their fees were not paid, they were not giving, stipends and all of that. That's another story. But let's look at the way the rate of kidnapping by these, what they call the militants now, the way it's reduced in the Niger Delta. So that's one way the government has tried it, and we have seen the effect of that particular scheme. So having that in mind, would you still say it's a wrong approach and the wrong step the government is taking?
Like I said, it's not about what the government has done. It's about the impact of what they've done.
Which I just explained to you.
Now, you agree with me that because of this same amnesty we're talking about, we have more recruits.
In what?
In cultism, because it's cultism that leads to the kidnapping.
Amnesty costs more recruits? How?
Now, people that were not cultists before now, they feel neglected. Because they feel, how I wish I was a cultist.
Oh,
I will have gained this empowerment. I don't know where you're getting the point. Most of them feel, I am not employed. The government are not recognizing me because I was not a cultist.
But are you speaking with facts, or you're just speaking from assumption?
All right, I do more of research. I'm a researcher, and every day I engage young people in different segments of the states, in seminars. I have listened to people speak. I've seeked the conscience of these people, these students, these cultists, I've spoken with them severally.
The ones that gained amnesty.
Both the ones that have gained amnesty and the ones that are wishing. How wish?
And you notice that they were actually wishing to join in.
Yes, because the only way you can actually gain this amnesty is being a courtist, a non-courtist.
Okay. You're saying that.
So I'm saying the government are giving wrong inspiration with this issue of amnesty.
But do you agree it dropped the level of insecurity and kidnap that we had here in the Niger Delta? From your research, you said you're a researcher.
I don't. If you want to go into that, there's a whole lot to talk about, but I just don't want to talk about it. What has resulted to the gradual reduction in kidnapping and issue of robbery is not the amnesty. There's a whole lot to talk about, but let's not go into that.
Oh, so the amnesty did not play any role?
It played little, minute role, but not the major role.
Okay, but it played a role.
Yes, not the major role.
Okay.
Because you see, when we talk about this amnesty, one way I feel the government can tackle insecurity, for me, my own opinion, is either negotiation like they've done, the amnesty, dialogue, or direct attack. So if they are unable to attack and conquer these hoodlums completely, then they are trying to dialogue. But at the same time you're dialoguing, are you able to dialogue with all of them? Because anyone you're not able to call will see it as a neglect. Let's take for instance, we have in River State, I'm taking an instance now, River State, we have in River State, we have, let's say we have 20 known, terrorists in River State. And the government called 10 out of these 20 and empower. What do you think the other 20 will do?